All right. Welcome back to Taking a New Approach podcast. I am so grateful to be on the mic as always. Appreciative of you beautiful souls out there who are listening to this, growing. I am proud of you. If you are new to the channel or you've never seen this, popped up in your recommendations, thank you so much for clicking on the video. Also, I always tell the people this in the beginning, is that the universe doesn't make mistakes. It's the reason why you clicked on the video. And it's something for you to learn. So grab what you need, take that, apply it to your life so that you can become your greatest self. And then you can move on and do what you have to do to manifest your goals, your dreams, your reality that you want to see in this world. Okay. Now, thank you all of those who have subscribed. Thank you for, sharing the videos and all that. And today I usually just get right into it. I wanted to talk to you. I'm going to do kind of like a new thing where it's kind of going to be like the Three Wise Men series. And I found this little thing on YouTube. You know how synchronicities work and the universe works, or whoever you call it, God, Allah. I'm not here to judge, or I'm here to inspire. So whatever works best for you works best for you. But I found this video, and it was just like 45 lessons on life lessons. And it was from like a 90-year-old man, right? I don't know if it's true or not, but I was looking at a lot of them, right? And there's things that I have learned or gone through on my journey of just life in general, but especially they mean a lot now because I really get it. And I'm just taking this intuitive approach, right? Because that's really what this is, Taking a New Approach podcast. It's really about using your intuitive self, right? Because we have the logical, but you also have intuitive. And that just means your intuition, your spiritual self, your higher self, the real you, right? And I'm going to start doing a podcast on each of those lessons. And one of the lessons that really stood out to me, and I think it's very valid and prevalent in our society today, especially if you're younger than 30, because I'm 30, and even some older people as well could probably attest to this when they hear it. But one of the lessons was when you're in doubt, just take the next small step. And when I saw that, I was like, that's so true. Like, it hit me in my soul. I was like, oh, you need to say that for the people in the back. Like, it's so true. Like, I've done other podcasts on doubt, but doubt is something that really gets in that we create, and it stops us from living. Like, I just did a podcast, the last podcast. If you haven't been here before, after listening to this, you can go back. But I talked about give yourself permission to live, right? And a lot of times we don't give ourselves permission to live because we're doubting what we can actually do. We're doubting our own powers. We're doubting our own abilities to make things happen for us. Now, one issue or problem, whatever you want to call it, none of it is really a problem. But one thing that stops us, right, is that we're chasing something else that's not really us. See, when you have a lot of doubt, it's usually based off of you not understanding that you're chasing somebody else's goal. So that could be, oh, well, my parents said I need to do this. Society says I need to do that. Or my teacher say I need to do this. Or, if you're in the church or whatever, pastor says this, right? And so we have all those constraints or pressures that's stopping us or creating this doubt within us. And it's really holding you back from your success. because you have all the answers within you. That's facts. Now, you might not feel that way all the time. And trust me, as you go on this journey of learning about yourself, developing yourself and understanding what you came down here to do and what you pre-plan for yourself down here, like, you're going to have some doubt. I would say that in spirituality, if you don't doubt something or you don't have moments of doubt, then you're not really growing. Like, that's where you learn your lessons. And one way for you to overcome doubt is through just doing the smallest thing moving forward. Sometimes it's not going to be the biggest thing. Sometimes it's gonna hold you. Sometimes you're gonna get, like, the whole big vision is sometimes gonna make you stop and say, I don't know if I can attain that. I don't know if this is gonna work out. Anybody of success will tell you they had moments of doubt. And even as they're considered successful, they still go through it. Your job is to understand that doubt is trying to play you. It's trying to play you. It's trying to make you stay in that little box that you want, that never allows you to truly, fully experience the life that you deserve, that you're worthy of. Right? Like, my job is to plant that seed to let you know that you're deserving to move forward. And it only takes some small steps, right? Like a 1,000-mile journey starts with what? The first step. And it's just like, they're just steps. And right now you might be in a place where you're trying to figure it out, or you could be already figuring it out and now you're just moving forward. But don't stop. Don't stop. You just can't stop. Sometimes you could rest, but you shouldn't stop. Don't give up on yourself. No matter how hard it seems. Like, I was listening to this guy, Dan Loke, and sometimes I agree with him sometimes, but I like what he was saying in terms of just success. He's like, when you're ready to quit, you have to think about, have I done everything possible? See, and that's what happens with doubt. When you're in doubt, you got to think about, have I done everything possible? Most of us haven't. If right now money is an issue for you, have you decided to learn how to flip? And I don't mean homes, like just selling on eBay, selling on Amazon. Oh, well, there's people that do it. So what? There were people probably before when those people were doing that, and they decided to start. Do you have a side hustle? Did you go to someone, a mentor to learn how, or a coach to learn how to budget on what you make? There's so many opportunities, right? There's so many opportunities out there, so many choices and options that you could take. But a lot of times we allow doubt to stop us from even going to see if those things are even viable to us. I would rather keep trying and keep doing and failing before just not doing anything at all. Because a lot of us get stuck in, well, if I don't try, then, I could never say, you could always lean on it as a crutch. As like, oh, okay, well, if I would have I know I would have did better, if I did that. But since I didn't, it doesn't really matter. I used to be that way, especially college, when I wasn't getting the success that I thought that I knew that I was capable of in the beginning. And it was because of my studying habits and just my priorities. They wasn't all aligned for what route I was trying to go, and seeing the success along that route. And I leaned on, oh, well, if I just don't try as hard, now if I don't get the grade that I could be like, okay, well, I didn't really try. But that's garbage. It is what it is. And you're not a bad person because it happened. It happens. Many of us just stop. We don't keep going. Even if your bank account is low, even if, you lose friends, even if, you just have to keep going. Because as long as you keep going, everything changes. Because it was once upon a time that you wasn't in that situation. And now you are. It changed. Now you're in that situation. Well, now in the future, you could possibly be out of it. And now what? You got to think about it. When you're in doubt, just take that next little step. It doesn't have to be the biggest step that you ever taken in your entire life. For some, it might be. That's why it's all about what you decide. You got to figure that out for yourself. I'm not going to tell you, just take the biggest step. That's not for everybody. Maybe you have to take baby steps to gain that confidence first, and then you do a big one. Or maybe you're ready for it, and you're just going to dive in, and you're just going you're going all the way for it, right? It really just depends on who you are as a person, right? And I was looking up some quotes and things of that nature just to kind of add. And I came across William Shakespeare. Everybody knows Shakespeare for the most part. And if you don't, you can go look him up. And he had a quote about doubt. And he said, doubt, and I'm just paraphrasing, but it was like, doubt is a traitor. And it makes us lose the good that we might win if we attempted something. Right? But we lose out on it because we're fearing what can happen. And that's that doubt. You can't reach your full potential if you never go out and do it. Even if it doesn't work out, you can't reach it. And Dan Locke was talking about success is not just, a linear thing. And it's not. It's not. When I had success as a teacher, I didn't take the same route that a normal person would take. Some people would just go, from college to graduate schools, get their master's, then go teach. There's so many different ways that you can get into teaching, right? And my path was a little bit different. I did a little bit of AmeriCorps, and then I went to the teaching training program, and then I went into teaching, but I was teaching along the way as well. So, again, nothing is just super linear. I was watching something the other day from another person that I watch, because I watch a lot of people, even if it's not spiritual, because you can learn from a lot of different places and apply it to your life. And I was watching Grant Cardone. I like to watch about real estate and things of that nature. And he was showing kind of his passive income that he was making. And it was very interesting because he showed and he was like, this is our projection. This is what we made in profit, right? And it was all profit. And he showed some of the ones that their projections were off. They made less money. And he was like, that's the real reality of real estate. You're not always going to be right. Everything is not always going to go as planned. But that doesn't mean you just stop. That means, all right, I know this. This is what's going on. Okay. Maybe I got to go a little bit longer and keep just pushing until it works. Or you know what? No, I'm going to pivot because this is clearly showing me and I'm getting my higher self is talking to me, telling me to pivot. Okay, I'm going to pivot and do this. You're never wrong and you're never not a success, right? If you keep going. You're successful if you keep going. It takes a lot to keep going. But doubt stops us. Your own doubt, right? And another thing I saw was doubt can also build the mountains that stop you. So, right, a man can have a small amount of faith to move mountains, but doubt can also create them. So you have to realize you have to have faith in yourself. So when you're doubting something, you have to stop yourself right then and there. I've been through it plenty of times, even with this podcast, plenty of times. I don't know. I see all this other stuff. I'm not as gifted as this person technology wise, in terms of, editing and all this other stuff. But I stopped myself because I knew this is a gift. It's a gift. And those who will appreciate it will appreciate it. I've seen all different types of things. But I cannot stop. I have to keep moving. I have to keep doing this. I have to keep trying. Right? It doesn't mean, okay, well, you recorded 60 episodes or whatever it may be, and you're like, well, it's not working out. No. Keep recording. Record 1,000. Record 2,000. It's 1,000,000 people for everybody and whatever you like to do that will be interested in what you have to do. I say that all the time because people have different interests. No one just listens to one person and that's it. People listen to multiple people. People buy multiple products from different brands and all this stuff. So whatever it is in your life that's going on, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's this journey, this spiritual journey you're on, and, dealing with your shadow self and overcoming some of the things and the issues that you haven't really wanted to deal with. You don't have to do this whole full big step. Do something small. As small as saying, I love myself. I love myself. Just simple things like that. That's an affirmation. And affirm it, right? And you can actually use, I did a podcast on affirmations versus affirmations. And the affirmation is really just about you creating and seeing, okay, how is this true in my life to make it more powerful? You waking up, showering every day. That's love. Some people don't love themselves to go shower, right? You may be pampering yourself, getting massages, or you taking care of your responsibilities. That's love for yourself. We always think it's got to be these big, grand, luxurious types of things, and it really doesn't have to be that way. When you learn how to get joy and gratitude out of the smallest things, you are winning, and you will keep winning. Because life is beautiful. Life is truly beautiful. And it's still good, no matter how hard it is. Trust me. I know. 2 years ago, I was sinking. This is really how I got just really to go in on this, because it was time for me to go through that journey. It was time for me. Like, it doesn't mean you have to go through that to gain enlightenment. You really don't. That was for me. For you, it might be different. You might learn and say, you know what? Maybe I'm at this job and I don't like it, but you know what? I'm not going to quit it and just go do something else. I'm going to start preparing myself so then I can lead into something better. Or maybe, you know what? This relationship is not really working right now. I'm going to end it, and work on myself. Maybe that's the smallest next step for you. It doesn't always have to be drastic. It's whatever the next smallest step for you. And when you're doubting yourself, you're not loving yourself. Because that's all that really matters is love. As corny as it sounds, as people want to say it, it's not corny. Love is beautiful. That's what everybody wants. That's why when you go out and do whatever you do in the world, and when you're doing this, it's because you want that sense of love. Love heals all. It heals everything. Many people you're holding on to grudges and you got the hate in your heart because you wasn't loved. You didn't feel or you didn't perceive that was love to you. That's where this doubt is coming from. You have to start with love. You have to start being gentle with yourself. You have to start that self-love, self-care. Because if you don't do that, then I don't care how much stuff you gain or, you acquire or the people that say they love you and all this different things, you're still going to feel empty inside if you don't start with yourself. Like, it's more than just your career and the physical. You got to understand yourself. You need that spiritual knowledge. This is why I do this podcast. It's for you. It's for myself to realize that we are greater than what is being perceived and what we have been conditioned to perceive as life. We're greater than that. And it's time for you to step into your greatness, however small that might be. If you're listening to that, that's the first step. Maybe this is your small step, just listening to this. And it's getting you to start to think about it. You don't have to worry about, I keep listening to this stuff and I agree with it, but I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. Don't worry. Don't doubt yourself. Maybe this is, like I said, the seed that needs to be planted. And your emotions will draw back and water that seed and draw back into you whatever you are desiring. That's why I always talk about gratitude, joy, appreciation. Those things will water the seed that you are trying to sow, that you are sowing, so that basically you can start to create that life. It takes time. Everything takes time. It's not just a one and done. This is like, we live in a world where everything happens faster and faster and faster and faster. And I'm not against it. But you also have to be ready for it. Because sometimes you see people who will blow up very quickly, or they'll get success very quickly in whatever field or whatever they're doing, or, relationships come easy, but then it always seems to flame out so fast because most of the time they're not ready for that. Right? Or it prepared you with the mindset that, everything is just supposed to come quickly. Everything is supposed to just be so fast. But in a relationship, you got to work on it. Everything is not going to come so fast. People have their own ways, their own free will, essentially. But no matter what, you can control how you respond to everything. And if you're responding in doubt, that's where you're going to get tripped up. You cannot get tripped up over doubt. It's going to be there. It's going to happen. It's not just going to, doubt is just this, right? Or doubt is just that. Or, maybe if I, stop drinking or stop doing drugs and all this, the doubt will go away. No, doubt will be around forever, right? Especially when after you start to reach certain goals and start to create new ones, you're gonna have it. But your goal is that everything, the universe says yes to you. And once you know that and you walk in that power, when you walk in that power, you will succeed. Don't worry about the doubt. It's going to come. And if you fall to it, it's all right. It's a lesson learned. Your goal is, I messed up on that one. But you know what? We're going to keep going. 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 What's the next small step that I can take? That should be the question that you ask yourself. Whenever doubt comes, you take that deep breath. You relax, you get in the present, and then you ask yourself, what is the next step? This is why meditation is so important. I always like yoga, so important. Most of our issues come from us not staying in the present. And a lot of times we're holding on to the past, which is creating the doubt that we're seeing in the present. So if you want to have less doubt moving forward, you got to start to deal with a lot of your issues that you're holding on to the past, whether that's with family members, whether that's with your your goals that you have set and you haven't attained them by the age that you said you wanted to, whether that's just seeing society and the way it's going and you're not liking it, whatever it is, you have to make peace first. I had to make peace first. I wouldn't be here if I didn't make peace first from the way I grew up. I wouldn't be here if I didn't make peace first with the people that I've been in relationships with. I wouldn't be here, I wouldn't be here if I didn't start to work on me and start to love me more and be able to look at myself more and deal with all the issues that I was going through. Body image issues, being overweight and, being bullied growing up and those different types of things, or feeling less than. You have to deal with it. If you're not where you think you deserve to be, it's because you don't feel like you deserve it truly. You can say it all you want, but you truly don't believe that. Because if you truly believe that, you're taking the next small step. I'm not saying that you're going to be there. I'm saying that you're going to be working your way to it. Stop trying to be so successful by 25. Stop trying to be so successful by 35. Stop putting a time limit on what you're trying to do and just go and do it. Because honestly, if you stop putting a time limit on it, because that makes for more resistance, that makes for more doubt. When you stop doing that, putting those time limits on yourself, you become so free and so powerful, and things end up manifesting in your life faster than you thought, or it'll be more fulfilling than you thought it could be, right? You'll be so satisfied with it, and you'll be so happy when you get it, and you'll be like, yeah, I expected this. I deserve this. And you will walk with that power, and people will look at you differently. It's true. Like, confidence is like a secret weapon. Like, it really is. But you can't gain confidence if you don't take that next small step. You can't release the doubt if you don't take that next step. You have to keep moving forward. Even if doubt is on your mind, keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Keep getting up every day with the expectation that something great is going to happen for you. You got to get up and keep going and keep saying, you know what? Great things are going to happen for me today. Great things are going to happen for me today. I'm going to make that sale. Somebody's going to do something nice for me. Or, you know what? Today is just going to be very peaceful. And just stay in the moment. So if you want to release that doubt, you got to stay in the moment. You got to be present. You got to have that mindfulness. Mindfulness, I've talked about it, is one of the greatest things that you could do. Look it up. Look up books on mindfulness. That's a small step. You don't have to bust out and just start doing an hour full of meditations. Just start to research on it. Start to look, see what works best for you. I struggled with meditation before in the past, where I was like, I know I got to do it. I know how great it is. I know that all the successful people do this, and it's a part, and that really connects me to my true self and to the great ideas and the ingenious ideas that have been created before. But then I'll struggle, or I'll be inconsistent. But I'm going to keep going, and I've gotten better and better and better. I'm not going to hold myself. I'm not going to beat up on myself. Because I'm human. This is a part of the human experience. I'm learning. I'm growing. I'm understanding myself. I'm growing into my power. When you see that successful person or whoever you admire, they had to work to that point to get there. And some people are faking it and they're crushing under the fakeness. But nobody ever puts it out there. Because you're supposed to have this certain image. Yeah, I fall short sometimes. Yeah, I get angry sometimes. Even knowing in my mind saying, don't respond that way. Don't do it. Don't judge that person. Don't do that. Don't do that. Right? But I still do it. Right? And I know, okay, today my intentions are still the same. To go out, not judge. Go out, show love. Go out, be happy. Go out, be grateful. Every day. And I get great streaks, right? And then sometimes you fall a little short. But you're learning. You're growing. If you haven't done this your entire life, you've been doing whatever you've been doing. And the reason why you found this is probably because you want some change in your life. You want that change. So you've been doing whatever for however many years you are right now. So this is going to be a little new. You're going to stumble a little bit. Said this before. You never seen a 5-year-old on a mountain bike. Might be one or two who just are just that special, right? But for the most part, you're not going to see it. Because it's levels. First, you got to start off with the small bike. With the training wheels. And you kind of learn how to do it. And then eventually, once you get your handles on that, no pun intended, then you take the training wheels off. And then now you can ride, and now you get better and better, and then you might move up. But it takes time. And doubt is only stopping you. It's not helping you, it's defeating you. Don't let it defeat you, because you're only defeating yourself when you fall into the doubt. The doubt will not help at all. It really won't. I hate when people say, oh, okay, well, it's just action, 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 action. Yes, a lot of times the next step is going to be the need to be some action. But sometimes that action might just be for you to sit still and analyze it and really go within first and then make a decision on what you need to do. So don't feel like, oh, okay, well, he said doubt, so what's my next small step? No, it might just be researching. Might be talking to some people. Give yourself an opportunity. And how I look at it, especially with doubt, and you feel like, oh, well, I just don't have the time. It might just be you looking at how to break down your time and see where your time is spent. So then now if you know where your time is spent, now you can really make a decision. Sometimes we just say stuff and we stop ourselves. Again, that doubt. Don't do that. If you are doing that as you're listening to it, stop it. I don't have the time. No. Go and after this, break down what you do in a day. And see where you can get some time. Because I'm telling you, most of us BS ourselves. We BS ourselves. If you on there and you looking at other stuff that has nothing to do with your goals and you're going to beat up on yourself about not being where you are, then you can stop looking at that stuff, or you can stop talking to those people and focus on your goal. We do a lot of things that hinder us. And until you do everything possible to attain that goal, you can't say that, oh, okay, it's not possible. It is possible. Have you gotten a coach? Have you joined a group that meets up and deal with whatever you're doing? Have you gone to therapy? Have you read the books? Have you practiced any other things that you're reading? Have you done it for a significant amount of time? Because I know a lot of us buy programs, do this, do that, and then we, first 2 weeks maybe. Some of us never use it. We'll buy something, never use it, never even look at it. We were hyped and then we just stop. Or we'll do it for a little bit and then stop. And then be like, oh, well, that didn't really work. Like, that's a scam. That's that. This is this. Like, no. Put 5 years into that of real, honest, hard working, taking those steps and see if something doesn't happen for you. or see if you really don't figure it out or figure out something else that might be better for you. Give yourself a chance. When in doubt, take the next small step, but give yourself a chance. If you don't feel like you have that support system, that's the beauty of the internet. If you're listening to me right now, this is motivation. I'm speaking life into you. I want you to succeed. You are going to succeed. And there's others who do the same thing. Like, that's why I'm in I don't put anything down, pretty much. I look into it. Need a reading. I need to get a reading. I've done numerology. I've done astrology, and figuring out who I am, understanding energy, because we're all nothing but energy. And doubt is honestly just another energy form. And you just have to learn how to, once you learn how you work, now you're better able to really do whatever that is best for you. That's really what it is. You're able to do what's best for you. You don't have to worry about, okay, I don't know if that, once you know, yeah, that's not really what I'm trying to get into. I'm not into fashion. Okay. So I don't need to worry about this person over here talking about that. Oh, getting this, do this. Oh, well, I'm not into this, or I don't like this type of, I value these things. So if you value these things, if they're showing you something else, you don't need to worry about that. You know where you lie. You know where you're going to be. So stop holding yourself in that negative place. Stop doubting yourself and just do it. Little by little. It is possible. People have come out of greater holes than you will ever imagine. Worse than I have experienced, worse than other people have experienced. If you go back and listen to some of my old ones, it was times where, I was just getting back on my feet because I lost mostly everything. Right? And I didn't know how I was going to pay my rent on this or make this bill and that, but I stopped. I believed that I was abundant. I kept doing my affirmations. I kept being positive. I kept saying things will work out. All is well. And the money always came somehow, some way, or the bill was extended, or the bill didn't come until this point and then I had the money. Like, life will always, when you take that step and you're stepping in faith and you're stepping in confidence that it will work out, then it will. And sometimes when you think it's going to work out and it doesn't go the way you thought it would, it's just a life lesson. Maybe you put too much energy into that negative thing that it just had to manifest. But always accept that responsibility and keep moving and understand that life is not doing you wrong. Everything is always happening for you, not to you. That is the way. So when in doubt, take that next small step, however that seems for you. Believe in yourself. Don't worry about the time. Time is an illusion, because it might take you 8 years to build up to the point where then year 9, it just blows up for you. Everything just seems to work. You now just get it. And now from then on, everything is magnificent. And you won't ever be like, man, I sure hate that I had to do those first 8 years. No, you'll be like, I'm so grateful for that. And you won't even probably think about it. You'll just always look back on it to gain strength, to gain confidence, to really revel in gratitude. That's what it's about. Success is not a straight line. It's not linear. It's a lot of zigzags. It's a lot of pause moments. It's a lot of questioning yourself. And especially in spirituality, you're going to question yourself. That's the whole point. Because that's how you eventually start to learn who you are and start to build that confidence. Then when you go out into the world, no one can tell you who you are because you know for a fact. You doubted yourself more than they did, and you figured out who you were. So now you have the ultimate power. That's where you want to be, no matter what. Forget all the physical stuff. That's great. But the biggest goal that you can do for yourself, the greatest thing you could do for yourself, is to have confidence in yourself and know who you are. Because then you don't have to worry about people disappointing you. You don't have to worry about being disrespected and all these things, because a lot of that stuff won't matter to you. Doesn't mean you might not get upset. It means that it won't matter to you. You'll know how to keep and foster your peace, your feelings, and move forward. And that's what we need in this world today. We're counting on you. If you're mad at society, we are society. So what are you doing to help us better society? How can you be a more loving person? How could you be, right? How can you be more kind to people? How can you just be grateful and satisfied with what you have right now as you're moving forward and learning more about yourself and gaining those standards that you creating your own standards for yourself that you want to live by, that you want to uphold yourself to. Those values. The type of relationships you want to enter into. The type of friendships you want to enter into. Everything is all right. All is well right now. All is well. I say that with love. All is well. It really is. No matter where you are, all is well. And I know sometimes that can make people mad, and some people might, like, I know when I was listening to this and I was going through it and hearing that type of stuff, I'd be like, you lying. I don't know, player. I'm over here eating bread with some hot sauce on it. That's all I got. Like, I don't know. All is well, player. I don't know. But everything changed. And I'm still building, and I'm still going, and I'm still going to keep moving until I'm where I desire to be. And you have to keep going as well. So don't stop. So when that doubt comes in, just take your small step, and you know which step that will be for you. And if you want to know how to deal with doubt, meditation is one. Breathing exercises are one. Mindfulness, just always coming back to the present, just listening to what's going on around you in that present moment and realizing and saying, you know what? Is anything going wrong directly right now? No, okay, everything is all right. And all will work itself out. So those are quick little 3 things that you can do for yourself. Now, if you want to get more, and I'm going to wrap up, if you want to get more, definitely you could do the coaching. It's in the description box. Please share, please like this. It's definitely a way that if you want to spread more positivity and help me out, basically, to get me to have more people listen and join and build a community where we are taking this new approach and taking this intuitive approach to really get back to our spiritual selves. No matter what you call it, everybody wants peace. Everybody wants love. Everybody wants happiness, gratitude, appreciation. Like, we all desire those things, and we all have it in ourselves to do it. If you want to donate, all that information is all in the description box. I want to tell you that I love you. If no one told you today, I want to tell you that I'm proud of you for even listening, especially if you listen all the way to the end. You are worthy. You are deserving. And I really mean this. No matter if only 10 people listen to this, 1,000, whatever. You are doing a great job. Don't let the haters get you down. Wherever you are there. You're doing the best that you can. So, again, I love you. Thank you for listening, because you could be anywhere in the world, but you're here listening right now, and I appreciate you. So, thank you, and I will talk to you on the next episode. Bye.